Welcome, everyone, and good evening. My name is Whitney Kell. I am a certified coach with Take Shape for Life, and this evening you are in for a treat. We are going to be discussing the Take Shape for Life program and what it means to be a optimal health specialist and health coach. So what I want to start with is a little bit about what to expect tonight. We're going to go over a little bit. We'd like this to be interactive. So if you can take some notes, that would be great. And at the end, we're going to take questions. So we're excited to get to know you and what's important to you. But during the presentation, we're going to do about 30 minutes. You're going to hear some great testimonials and some fantastic stories from some of the people on the call. And I just want to make sure we have everybody on the call. It's Jason. We have Jason on the call, Ron, Robert. Is there anybody else, Robert?
And Sarah.
And Sarah. Great.
Sarah.
Yes, I see Sarah. Welcome to the call, everyone. So we're going to get started, and we're going to take a look at the trilogy of optimal health. For some of you, this may be a new term. With Take Shape for Life, we look at three areas: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And the way that we look at this is there's a thread that runs through all three areas. So would you agree, if you think about this, if you are stressed out because your overhead is too high, or you're trying to make your bills and you can't sleep at night, is it possible that it will create emotional eating during the day? Or if you're not healthy, some people don't sleep well at night. They have to get those machines for their sleeping apparatuses. So they're connected. All three of these areas we find are very connected. So this is really how we are trilogy and optimal health coaches, is we want to ask you to take a look at your life in these three areas, and we'll help support you in assessing that. So everyone gets a health coach with Take Shape for Life, and they will support you in assessing your healthy body, mind, and finances. I would like to share just for a moment a little bit about my story. I have been a health coach, certified coach, for over 13 years. We helped develop this coaching division, and I think we're one of the largest coaching companies in the world, in the United States for sure. I go back to 13 years ago when I was struggling with hypoglycemia. For my healthy body, I would have given myself a 5. Because if you rate yourself and you look at the different things for physical activity, I was working out every day, but I was gaining weight. My clothes were getting tight, and I didn't feel good. And I don't know if anybody else ever does the self-talk, but I'd look in the mirror, and because my clothes were tight and I didn't feel good, my self-talk was pretty negative. I would, think, God, this is not looking good today. And then as far as satisfaction, I had a job I really did not enjoy. I don't know anybody else who had worked corporate America, but in my corporate job, Mondays, it was not a good day for me. I was not looking forward to going into work. I didn't enjoy the work that I did, and I didn't like the people that I worked with. And I didn't have a lot of community. And because I worked so much, I didn't have a lot of time for spirituality, friends, or, except for working out every night, really taking care of myself. So I pretty much gave myself a 4 or 5 in all of the areas. Healthy body, I'd give myself a 5. Fulfillment, it's pretty low. I would give myself a 4. And financial health, even though I was working 12 to 13-hour days, I was just getting by. I was just making ends meet. So my life before Take Shape for Life was not one that I was, excited about. And I look at what happens with my blood sugars. Because I was hypoglycemic, my blood sugars were on a roller coaster ride. And this is true for, I think, most of America. This is their eating plan. And for some people, if you just cut out the middle part, they're just either having a cup of coffee in the morning, and then late at night, they're having some big dinner. I was eating throughout the day because my doctor told me I needed to eat more often because I was hypoglycemic. But this is kind of what my schedule looked like. I mean, they told me to drink orange juice or milk if I had a hypoglycemic attack. So I was eating a lot of junk food during the day because I liked sweets. And what the great thing about this program is, once I started on the plan, and I'll talk about it in a minute, I just felt better immediately. My blood sugars they were balanced. I felt less anxiety. I just overall felt so much better. And I lost 9 pounds in 4 weeks for my healthy body. And just when you lose weight, how many people on the call here have lost weight and understand how good that feels when you actually feel like you're back in control? So that's one of the things this did for me with physical and my mental health, is immediately I felt so much better. And then I look at how grateful I am. What we've done here is build a coaching community. Those of you who just joined us, someone invited you to this, and the coaches that help pay this forward get to experience satisfaction. And, the most rewarding thing I could have imagined, to get to coach another person and to help them create a healthier physical, mental, and financial healthier lifestyle. It's so rewarding. So my challenge is to take a look at your scores, sit down with the coach who invited you to this call after the call is over, and review this with them, and take a look at whether or not Take Shape for Life can help you. And there's 3 questions I would like you to think about as we get started here. Does this make sense? Can you do it? And how do you get started? So we hope to answer those 3 questions by the end of this half an hour. So who is Take Shape for Life? We are a wholly owned subsidiary of Medifast Incorporated. Medifast has been around for 30 years, and Take Shape for Life has been around for 13 years. We are physician-led by Dr. Wayne Anderson, who's the co-founder. And the company, when we first started over 13 years ago, was a $5 million company, and I think it will be close to $300 million this year. So the company has grown a lot. The division of Take Shape for Life and having health coaches, the way that we are designed, where everyone has someone as an accountability coach, has really made an impact on Medifast. We have a comprehensive program. Not only do we have those scientifically proven and studied meal replacements that Medifast is so well known for, but now you also have the secret sauce, in my opinion, of having a health coach, that accountability buddy, somebody who's already done the program themselves and is reaching back to help you walk through the same program that they've done. And we couldn't do it without the Habits of Health. The Habits of Health is our tool that helps us integrate all of the lessons that we learn along the way. And it's fantastic. For those of you who've read it, would you agree? The Habits of Health is a fantastic book. So for anybody that's on the call, just reading that book, it is profound. I mean, really, a lot of us already know what to do, but to read it, it helps you reinforce those lessons, doesn't it? And then when you have a coach that's also done it and they're talking to you about it, it just makes a huge impact. To have somebody coaching you is powerful. Robert, I'd like to just go through this with you for a moment. Would you take yourself off mute? What I'm going to do is set up a day in the life on our program. So for Take Shape for Life, the way that we are designed, I don't know how many people have heard you're supposed to eat every 2 to 3 hours. But like I said, when I was hypoglycemic, that's what the doctor said. You need to just eat more often throughout the day. So I ate foods that weren't good for me. We're going to teach you how to actually follow a program that can help you balance your blood sugars and help you get healthy quickly. So Robert, I want to walk you through how the program works, and you can, if it's okay, you can give me the times that you wake up. And anybody on the call, if you could get out a pen and a piece of paper and write down your schedule. We're going to take you through the schedule that we recommend with Take Shape for Life, and you can, decide whether or not this is possible for you to do. Robert, what time do you wake up in the morning?
Well, usually about 6 or 6:30, something like that. Let's call it 6.
Okay, 6 a.m. What did Mom always say the most important meal of the day is?
I think it was breakfast.
Yes. And take that word and break it into 2 words for me, will you?
Break fast.
Yes. So we want you to break your fast within the first half an hour to an hour of waking. So you wake up at 6 a.m.?
Yeah, so 6:30 then?
Yes. So we can provide you with, what's your favorite Medifast meal, Robert?
For breakfast, I like the orange blend. I like the cappuccino, the smoothie. What else? I like the oatmeal occasionally.
Okay, let's have you do an oatmeal at 6:30 a.m. We also have pancakes and we have protein cereal, but we'll put you in for an oatmeal at 6:30 a.m. And then if you're eating every 3 hours, when's your next meal?
I guess it'd be 9:30.
Perfect. 9:30. We give you a shake. Would that work for you if you're running around?
That'll
you
work.
could have a protein shake. And then your next meal would be?
12:30.
Perfect. 12:30. We have hot soups if you wanted something warm. We have chicken noodle soup. We have sloppy joes.
the ziti and the mashed potatoes are my favorite.
The mashed potatoes are really good. So
They're
you're going
really
to have a little lunch at 12:30 using one of our meal replacements. And then your next meal is at
3:30.
perfect. What about a bar? Would the Crunch Bar be okay? Protein bar?
Pretty good. Yeah.
What time do you get home and have dinner with your family?
Well, usually Geraldine's home by about 6, so we're getting close there. On 6:30 would be working for us, right, on this.
Okay.
So
So you'd be sitting down
just
about 6:30 for dinner, you think?
between 6 and 7. So this is about right where I need to be, right? 6:30 would be
Yeah.
optimal. Okay.
Okay, so for dinner, you're going to have, if you can see here, eat one lean and green meal
Okay.
when it's most convenient. So if there's a day when having lunch would be easier for you, you can have lunch. But in this case, we're going to do your 6:30 meal. So you're going to have protein the size of the palm of your hand. It's 7 ounces of lean protein and 2 cups or a cup and a half of green vegetables. And you'll get a book with this, so you don't have to memorize everything I'm saying. It's all going to come in the mail with your program. So that's at 6:30. That's dinner. And then what time do you go to bed at night?
Usually 11.
Okay. So we'd recommend you have another meal at 9:30 before you go to bed.
Sounds good.
We want you to eat every 3 hours until bed. And we have really yummy brownies or these pumpkin spice cake, wonderful yummies that you can have, chocolate chip cookies. What's something you like to have at night, Robert?
The soft serve is my favorite.
Soft serve, yeah.
And I'm still doing it even though it's turning cold because I like it that much. But I usually switch to the brownies or the other ones that you like, the soft bakes.
Yes. Well, great. It's good to hear. So you're going to be eating at 6:30, 9:30, 12:30, 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day. 5 of those meals are going to be the MetaFast products, and then you get to prepare one on your own. Does that sound like something you could follow, Robert?
Yep.
Awesome. So you're ready to get started. So anybody on the call, I hope you wrote down that schedule, because my challenge to everyone is that you eat that way every day. That's the way personal trainers teach people to eat. That's the way eating for our blood sugars is a great plan. Anyways, for me, it's been really effective. Thank you, Robert, for going through that with me. So then the next thing is, once you get to your goal weight, we'll transition you and get you starting eating on the 3 and 3 plan. We have these optimal health products that are a little higher in calories that we'll transition you over to. And that'll keep you eating every 3 hours during the day. And your coach will coach you through that process along with the booklet that we have that will provide that information, so you know exactly what to do along the way. Very specific, very clear, and it's super simple. And then the habits of health, which you'll go through by yourself. You'll read the book, and then you'll go through this with your coach. You can talk about different chapters in Living a Longer, Healthier Life. It walks you through the different steps. So you're preparing for your journey. You get your food, you place your order, you clean out the cupboards, set your mindset, you reach your healthy weight, you transition once you hit your healthy weight to the 3 and 3, as we talked about, while you're learning the habits of health. We've been going through and reading this, and you're talking with your coach about what you're learning, and then optimizing health for your age and living a longer, healthier life. It's so simple. It's those simple steps that we take in order for us to move ahead and create optimal, healthy habits. And this community is a big, big part of what I love about Take Shape for Life. You have, when you start the program, you'll use the Be Slim Club, which gives you free shipping. There's all kinds of savings and discounts. And then you got your Optimal Health community calls, the support calls that we have. Doctors and nurses, down here, there's a nutrition support team. Everything's free. And we have them on Monday and Wednesday nights every week, unless there's a holiday. So you can count on your coach. You can count on the support of our Take Shape for Life corporate community. And we've got meetings and events all over the country. So if you want to plug into an event or a meeting that's going on, you can come live, or we can connect you with a webinar just like this. And then we've got the Habits of Health system, and of course, your health coach. Your health coach is one of the most important keys for me. I would not be at the healthy weight I'm at and at the healthy mind and finances if I didn't have a coach that held me accountable, because life is not a straight line in my experience. Neither has this program been. It takes time, and it takes refocusing on those habits, especially during the holidays, right? This is an interesting time for a lot of people. Just to share a little bit about the business of Take Shape for Life as I transition this over to Robert, is one of the number one ways to maintain your healthy weight, your healthy mind, and your healthy finances is to become a coach. And for me, when I was working that 12-hour-a-day job, I had a ton of stress. And it did affect my eating. It affected my mental health. It affected my whole life. And so if, as you go through this program, you can see the benefits and the value of what it's doing for you overall, perhaps you'll take a look at what your stress levels are and whether or not what you're doing currently is giving you the meaning and purpose that you want to have. And that was Greg. I'm going to flip it over to Robert and have Robert Brasfield. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing and bringing great stories and testimonials.
Well, Whitney, thank you very much for giving me this privilege and honor to be here with you and with everyone else. And I just want to stress that as a health coach, I'm just an average everyday person like you, and I've just started helping people over time. And the rewards have been amazing. You'll hear about those as we spend a few minutes together. Now going in, Whitney mentioned about our healthy body. One of the great things that Take Shape Life offers people is really healthy finances. And I know when I started enjoying Take Shape for Life, it wasn't the attraction for me wasn't the healthy body piece. Personally, it was about finances. And just to share a little story about that, when my wife is a physician, so right away you think, well, he's married to a doctor. How bad can life be, right? Don't doctors make a lot of money? It's not always that way. She was in private practice. We invested in a practice, taking out a lot of loans, and then 2008 happened. Anybody remember 2008? And so 2010 came, and I met Take Shape for Life, and we were going through summers without paying ourselves because we were living in the desert. And those of us who live in Palm Springs, we're a vacation community, and people tend to fly away when the heat comes here in earnest. So things were tough. And that first summer, I was like, hey, where'd this extra $2,000 come from? And my wife said, it's from the Take Shape for Life business. And right away, it gave us a huge shot in the arm. And I remember I actually badgered my wife a little bit about doing it because she was very slow in the beginning, trying to figure out. She's not a computer person. But it has done more for us, more than just the finances now. It's impacted our health and how we communicate and work with each other and our community. It's been a great thing. I don't know how many of you love your job or like your job or everything about it, but people are finding real stress around work. It's not tough. It's not easy out there. I think the best little story I've heard about this that kind of puts it in a summation. There's just this guy driving to work, and he's a CEO, comes into work, pulls in with his big fancy car. And as he's walking through the building, a young man walks beside him and says, "Boss, that's a fantastic car." And the boss says, "You know what, son?" Puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "If you bust your rear this next year, come in early, leave late next year, I'll drive an even better one." Now, I know that's a little funny, but that's the pressures many of us are under. We work really hard for the people, and we don't reap the rewards. And what I love about Take Shape for Life is that when you link elbows with someone like Whitney, like I get to do, or with Sarah and others you'll hear from in a minute, you are a partner with somebody, and we all are trying to work and build and work together and create really a healthy America. Do I have control of these slides, Whitney, or is it you? You can fast forward me, actually, a couple. We're going to talk about paying it forward right now. I kind of hit the first two slides. A lot of us have a lot of reasons why we might do Take Shape for Life and why it can be a foundation. And one I want to suggest to you is that this was kind of an aha experience for me, not something that I really expected. Because I thought of Take Shape for Life in the beginning as this extra thing I was going to do to get something extra. You hear the extra thing I was going to do to get something extra. But what I found, it ended up being kind of a hub, something that kind of centered me in everything that I do. So to kind of like let you hear from other people that have kind of experienced that, I've asked Jason Pendleton to join us tonight. And Jason, you're with us. We'll have you on mute.
Hey, Robert.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So I'm not seeing you, but I guess you're with us here. I got my little screen's different than everybody else's. But go ahead, tell me a little bit, when you started as a health coach, sort of what were your hopes to get from the business as a Take Shape for Life health coach, and what did you discover for yourself?
So Kim and I joined together as a husband and wife team, and so when we started I was just in the middle of a job change. And so I was, our monthly income was, with that job change, was going to be about $400 shy each month. And so we walked into this just kind of with the hopes that it might close that $400 gap for us. And we loved the idea of helping people while we did that. And then, in the back of our minds, there was this kind of this small still hope that maybe it could make some kind of like significant impact on our bank account. And so, just a couple months into coaching, it closed that $400 gap for us, but it did so much more than that. Fast forward 18 months, and we were able to go on a trip, a vacation, dream vacation, really, as a family of 6 over to Florida and see Disney World and Universal Studios and see a live launch from Kennedy Space Center. And so just really exciting stuff that way. And now a little more than 2 years later, we've hit executive director, and that what started out as that small, still dream or small dream of making a significant impact in our bank account is becoming a reality. And so that's exciting. But I think what we didn't expect, or what I didn't expect, is the impact that it would make on a personal level with my family. That refining my skills as a coach would make an impact in how I listen to my wife, make me a good listener for her, and what would make, and that would make a good marriage even better. Or that kind of the mindset switch that we've kind of undergone with Take Shape for Life, where we find ourselves playing to win rather than playing not to lose. That would be so contagious even within our family that our 16-year-old daughter would that would be the catalyst for her to have this breakout year in cross country this last year. And so I love that Take Shape for Life has really afforded us the ability to meet the goals that we intended for it to. But I think what's made it really enjoyable is all the stuff that we didn't expect.
Yeah, I had the same experience. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think I have Ron. Ron, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hello, Robert.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good. I know Whitney mentioned earlier that, that health coaches that join our program are like 5 times more likely to keep the weight off. And you've certainly done that. I've known you for years. But maybe you would just tell us a little bit about your experience with health coaching and what it's given to you.
Well, as you can see, I had a small weight problem, and that was in 2011. I retired in 2009, but in 2011, I had some pretty major health issues, and frankly, I had tried everything known to man to lose weight, literally. When I discovered Take Shape for Life, it changed my life, not only my health, but the way I live. I lost weight, that's true, and I wanted to do that, even though I didn't think I was going to lose any at the time when I signed on, because I had tried everything. But along the way, with the education and the learning that I acquired, I was able to transform my health. And the foundation for that was the learning and the weight loss. Well, after a few months, I realized that I was taking these medications. There's about 14 in here. And while I appreciate that not all results are the same, this is my story. I was on 14 medications, and these are the medications I'm on now. A dramatic change. So I was learning about my health. I was able to lose weight. I felt better. I had more energy. I was retired. I'd learned a great deal. And I thought, no one could really do this if they didn't know about it. So I found that it was an opportunity for me to go out and touch other people, as others have said, to pay it forward a little bit, to try and influence their life. If Take Shape for Life hadn't come into mine, I can assure you I would probably have been in a wheelchair. It came into my life, it transformed my life, and now I'm able to go out, touch other people on the shoulder, and say, hey, would you like to walk a little journey with me down a path of health? And oddly enough, many people say yes. or perhaps that's not odd. But that's my story. Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's amazing. I love your story. And we have Sarah with us too. Sarah, if you would unmute yourself. And Sarah has her own different experience with Take Shape for Life, and I'm going to let her get right to it.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be on the call tonight and get to share and spend some time with people I haven't seen for a while, so from far and wide. What I want to share tonight is just really quickly my personal story, and that just all of my life I exercised and ate whatever I want. But I got to my 40s and it didn't really work that way anymore. Plus then some stressful times hit me, and with just the stress, I gained some weight. But when I found Take Shape for Life, it wasn't about me losing weight. It was, I got to do this. I got to get my husband to lose weight. So I got on the program, and just to help my husband, not realizing, because I didn't own a scale, not realizing how much weight I needed to lose. So anyway, fast forward about 6 weeks, Enrique and I lost 60 pounds together. He lost 35 pounds. I lost 25 pounds. We did it all during the holidays. So I always say there's no excuses. But the most important thing is I realized that as a registered dietitian, I'd been teaching people for a long time the wrong things. And I found a program that worked so well, and I had to share it with other people, like a lot of people. And so it took me a few months. I had a lot on my plate. I'm a very busy mom. I had 3 kids in 3 different schools. And so it took me, I had to finish another project. I had to finish basically my semester at school before I got started as a coach. But once I got started, I told my husband I needed to change my life. I had a job that I really hated with the Department of Public Health, and I needed to quit that job. And it was not just that I didn't like it, I just had real conflicts with it morally and ethically, and I needed to get out of it. So I worked hard. I buckled down, and I didn't do a lot of things with my kids, but I didn't say that. I told them that wasn't going to be forever. And I promised them that within 6 months I was going to change my life and change theirs. And I did it. Within about 5 months, actually, I became an executive director. And it wasn't because I was a dietitian. It was really just my networking and talking to people and talking to my cold market, my warm market, the people that knew me, that were looking for a better life, a healthier life. So within 5 months, I became an executive director, and I've never looked back. It was I didn't actually quit my job for about 2 months because I didn't really believe it was going to stick. And so I waited a couple months, and sure enough, I quit that job, and I've never looked back. I gave myself back 20 hours a week in my home, working from home, being around my kids, being able to drive my kids places by myself, not hiring other people to do it. And it's been a huge blessing for me, not just personally and professionally, but I have absolutely loved being a Take Shape for Life health coach. And I feel so blessed to be able to help so many people doing this. I'm a kind of save the world kind of person. And I wasn't just doing this to help my friends and my family. I wanted to help a lot of people. In terms of the other benefits that this has given me, I've been able to take within about a year and a half after becoming an executive director, I was able to take my family to Europe for a month and fulfill a dream that I've had for 10 years, and it was fabulous. And next year I'll have 2 kids in college, and college is pretty expensive, and I'm not going to say that it's not a worry how I'm going to pay for college, but it's going to happen, and I'm doing it, and I know where the money's going to come from. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for that. And I love Take Shape for Life. And it's not just about money. It's really about helping people. And that every penny I earn is because I'm helping someone else get healthy. That's why I became a dietitian almost 30 years ago. And Take Shape for Life has actually been able to help me fulfill that dream.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. I think we could all just go home right now and go out and become health coaches.
I'll mute myself again.
Thank you. No, thank you. Whitney's got me going for here. Yeah. So, what do we get? How does health coaching work? How are we compensated? Essentially, we have two things we get compensated for as a health coach: for enrolling and supporting clients, and mentoring and supporting health coaches. And you can push me forward if you like, Whitney. I know we're kind of short on time, but I know you'll have more questions, but you can get together the person that brought you to this call, and they'll chat with you about it even further. But essentially, as a health coach, it costs about $199 to get started. It's very inexpensive. You can see, I'll show you, because a little, if we can go back just to that slide just for 2 seconds, and I'll cut it off with this, the compensation. We're just going forward here. I'm losing it. Oh, there we go. So senior coach, you can see the average senior coach makes about $300 a month. That's someone who has 5 clients. So that your first month, if you do that, if you have your 5 clients and $1,200 in volume, the company pays you an additional $100 bonus. It's called a CAB bonus. So right away, you're cash positive. You've made a couple $100 extra bucks in the bank with your new business. And you've heard the health coaches that join talk about being an executive director or beyond. The average ED in our company is making about $2,800 a month, and that's someone who's helping 21 or more clients. This is a quick little snapshot of what we do. And the coaching advantages: you got a kid home from, that's sick home from school. The things that the curveballs life throw at you. You can be flexible. You have to do the work, but you can do it when you want it during your schedule. If that makes sense. It's a home-based business. There's also an advantage of that. You don't keep inventory. You're not selling Medifast needles. The company does that directly to the client. You get paid for supporting and coaching the client. In the beginning, you've heard about the benefits and blessings of that client-based income. That's sort of the job that we do, and it's a wonderful thing that we get to help people. But over time, your income from coaching teams and coaching coaches over time can actually exceed that. But it's nice that we have this dual income track where someone can really create a nice income for themselves just by helping people, and then make even more if they choose to by helping people help people. What I find that most people do this sort of a spare time, a part-time, and some a full-time job. And those who are looking at those advanced strengths, what's a long-term, long-term expectation? Where can I get out of this business? Integrated executive director, these are our leadership ranks. You can see the average incomes at $5,000, integrated regional at $5,900, integrated national at $8,300. I've been doing that for a few years. Integrated globals and presidentials. Whitney's a presidential on the phone, on the Zoom with us. Those are incomes based upon your ability to help other people, and you'll get it. When the person invited with you, they can go over that with you in detail. If you'd like to see our exact little income disclosure sheet, they'll share that with you. So just sort of we're wrapping up here. In America, we have this big problem. We have a lot of people that are struggling with losing weight. Like Ron said, he tried everything. He couldn't find a solution that worked for him. So we have this growing problem. We also have an unhealthy economy. So this is a great business structure. This is not going to go away. It's a beautiful thing because you get to help people, and it ends up being cost neutral for your client. Whitney mentioned earlier that the average person kind of spends on this program what they spend on food. A lot of people spend less. So you're really at no cost to your client. You do this beautiful thing in helping people and see lives transform around you. And you get all these wonderful little emails and texts and things that make you smile during your day. Mm-hmm. And so just to kind of wrap up, I know we said this at the end of 6:30 and we're a little over. I'm sorry we've kind of gone over a little bit, but and I'll ask Whitney to stop recording this in a second here. But if you liked what you've seen today and you're interested in maybe looking at exploring this, just know this is a small investment. It's a $200 investment to really get started into something that can be a great full-time income. It's $200 down the road. Certification is your only other continued expenses with this business. It's no surprises. It's $200 to start, $199, $200 for certification down the road, and then $99 each year for your renewal. And that's it. So if you're interested in taking a look at this, we would love to have you join our team. And I've got a little fire in my throat.
Oh, great job, Robert. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We're going to